Robert Plank Show, episode 154. Crush it on Instagram. Build an audience, generate leads, and increase sales with Luke Bender. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Robert Plank Show, where we talk about making money online. Our guest today is Luke Bender. Now, Luke Bender is going to talk to us today about Instagram. He's an Instagram marketing expert. He helps businesses and online entrepreneurs build a targeted audience, generate leads, and make sales using Instagram. So, Luke, what's happening with Instagram today?
Oh, exciting things are happening.
Cool. I'm glad to hear, and I can't wait to get all the details on that. So, Instagram. I know next to nothing about it. I know about Facebook, Twitter, maybe a little bit of Pinterest. I know that Instagram is a place where I guess people share photos and they can like stuff and there's hashtags. But that's about the extent of my knowledge. So could you explain to us what is Instagram exactly and kind of how does it fit in with Facebook and Twitter and all these other platforms?
Yeah, so Instagram is a huge social media platform. I think, just recently reached 500 million users. So it's about second to Facebook. And yeah, it's strictly photos. So you upload photos and it goes into a feed, and it's a great place to just connect with your audience and build an audience, and then grow your business. So I'm really excited about it, and I think the future of Instagram still looks good. So
Awesome. It's just it seems to me like one of those weird sites, sort of like Snapchat or something, where maybe I'm too old to understand it. And I mean, like you said, like 500 million users, and I see there's some of these sites where like there's a lot of people using it, a lot of people just really cleaning up on it. So okay, so Instagram, you can only post photos. And then, so in the context of us, internet marketers, business owners, stuff who have people who have things to sell. What do we do there? Because I can understand if you're, Kanye West or Kim Kardashian or like a celebrity, but if we're a business, what kind of photos are we posting on Instagram?
yeah, definitely. So it is interesting because it's mostly photos. You actually can't post a link in the caption. So you only get one link on Instagram, and that is in the bio. So when you're on the main page viewing someone's Instagram page, you get one link there. So it is interesting in that aspect. So I would say, if anyone's creating like educational content or content around a certain niche, you can take, like, what I really like to do is take like quotes. If you're writing blog posts, you just take like original quotes that you create, and then you can kind of use apps like this one I use called Typorama. So you can actually create quote pictures within this app, and those do really well, especially if they have to do with your niche and you're providing value or motivation or inspiration, any type of those pieces of content. And then, I like to, if anyone's building an audience around their own personal brand, I really like to encourage people to, you know, give a little bit of their personal life and actually really establish that, like, a know, like, and trust with their followers. Because I think that's key. When people start following you, you want them to really know who you are, and that way you can engage with them, and they'll be more interested in your stuff. So mix it up between, I really like quotes, and then personal life stuff. But one thing to keep in mind is that content on Instagram does need to be good pictures, because it's primarily pictures. It needs to be good looking stuff. So I would just encourage people to maybe learn how to do a bit of editing on their phone, and frame up a picture nicely. But yeah, those are some tips on how to post good content.
And is Luke Bender your Instagram username? Is that right?
It is. Yep, just Luke Bender.
Cool. And yeah, and I have it pulled up right now, and I'm seeing like your, you're water skiing, you're doing a backflip, there's like surfing, there's all kind like you said, like there's some cool there's some like cool shots to begin with, and then there's like the color or the filters or whatever make it look even slicker. And then on top of that, I'm seeing that you have your quotes like adventures are the best way to learn on top of one. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf them. And so I mean, yeah, I'm getting what you're saying in that the photos have to look pretty slick.
Yeah, and it's not too difficult to create those quote pictures. If you check out the app called Typorama, that's what I use. And yeah, you can kind of take pictures, like all those pictures are mine, even the ones with the quotes. So you can, use your pictures and then use your quote, and then that kind of really is a unique piece of content that will do well on Instagram.
Right, because I have seen on Facebook and Twitter, I've seen people take like a generic picture, like a picture of a mountain or of the ocean, and then grab some Zig Ziglar quote or something and put that on there. And I mean, I guess that's a pretty good way of generating content. But what you're saying is on Instagram, it's better to have something that's completely original. Is that right? Like your picture, your quote, all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, try to keep it original, but at the same time, it is definitely okay to curate content, for your audience. If you find something that, will really be valuable to them, then definitely curate a good picture and a good quote, even if it's not yours. But definitely try to come up with your own unique content that people can really start to notice your brand, and you can continue to build on that.
And I can see that on kind of clicking through your page here. I can see that I can, if I see a photo, I can like it, I can leave a comment, but there is no like retweet or reshare on your own page, is there?
No, there's not.
Okay, so it's kind of like old school stuff where the stuff on your wall is all yours and only yours, right?
Exactly.
So, how much of a time commitment are we talking about with Instagram? Like, I mean, how much time would you say that you spend on this, and how often do you update your Instagram page?
Yeah, so I probably spend more time than, maybe someone in your audience needs to, just because I've really chosen that as my main social media platform to focus on. But you can get it down to maybe 30 minutes a day of just engaging your audience and building your follower base. And I think that's doable.
So, I mean, when you say 30 minutes a day, I mean, what actions specifically would someone be taking to build that follower base and engagement? Would it be a matter of like replying to comments? Would it be liking other stuff? I mean, in those 30 minutes, like if someone were to like repeat the same, say, 3 or 4 actions every day, what would they do for 30 minutes every day?
Yeah, definitely. So posting is the first one. I would say at least posting every other day. Um, and you can post once a day on Instagram as well. I wouldn't go more than once a day. So posting is something that you got to do in creating the content. And then besides that, what you really want to do is find out where your audience is. So you can use hashtags to research, and I would just say find big pages within your niche. So if it's like business motivation, you can find tons of pages on that. If it's travel, there's tons of pages on that, as well as like health and exercise. So find big pages, find out where your audience is hanging out, and then what you're going to do is go to the latest picture that account has posted, and then you're going to go to all the people who have liked it. So you click on the likes for that picture, and then you want to start following people who would be your potential audience. So this works well because then they'll get a notification that you followed them, and then almost 100% of the time they'll click your profile to see who you are. And if you have content and they can see that, that they're someone that they'd want to connect with and be interested in your stuff, then they're going to follow you back, or they're going to click the link in your bio to your website or your lead magnet, And that's how you're going to build your email list and build fans and build your brand.
So, I mean, and the way you're describing that, it kind of reminds me of LinkedIn a little bit, where kind of every day you go in and make new connections or view some of these like profiles and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's some people, feel weird about following people just to get followers, but it really is like you have to notify people that you actually exist. So that's just the best way to, connect with your followers. And yeah, you make tons of connections, and you can do, like with LinkedIn, it's a little different because you can only do a few, but with Instagram, when you go to those likes, like thousands of people like this picture, and you can follow like 60 people per hour on Instagram, and then you can get like a certain percentage of those people will be interested in your stuff and then follow you back.
So when you do this technique, when you go and follow all these people, do you have like a goal or like a set number of follows that you want to do, or is it just a matter of however many feels good?
Um, well, I try to hit like 100 new followers per day. Um, but usually I'll follow, yeah, around 60 per hour. And Instagram will block you from following more people if you do it too much. So yeah, I would say my main thing is the targeting, to figure out, where my audience is hanging out. So if I can target them and then get a good amount of engagement and people that follow me back, it just varies. So it's not too specific.
So when you personally when Luke Bender goes to find these high traffic Instagram pages to see the popular stuff and follow all these people, I mean, what keywords and what hashtags are you personally looking up on a given day?
I am looking up a couple different pages, but I like to look up any type of motivation or luxury pages, and there's a ton of those ones. Like a big one is millionaire underscore mentor, and he just posts a bunch of motivational stuff, and I just find those people to be really active on Instagram. They really like checking out anyone who's providing valuable content. So if anyone is educating people on, personal development or business or things like that, that's a great, page to check out. And then one thing to note is when you find a big page that really lines up with your niche, you can click the drop down arrow next to the follow button on that account, and it will give you all of the similar pages. So once you find one, you just click that drop down arrow and you'll find all the similar pages in that niche. And once you're on one that has a large following, all those other ones will also have large followings. So it's just like an unlimited supply of people that might be interested in what you have to offer.
Awesome. So just to make sure I'm following along, so what you would do on a given day to build these followers is you'd log into Instagram, you'd go to the search box, you'd type in pound sign motivation or hashtag motivation, and then there are all these high ranked photos, and one of them is this millionaire mentor page, and then I could click on a button to follow them, or next to this follow button there's an arrow that drops down a lot of similar popular pages. Like I'm seeing there's like a Think and Grow Rich page, like Ask a Millionaire kind of stuff. So then you can just kind of add those to your hit list, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly right.
And so there's all these daily actions to be taken, and I'm seeing near the bottom of the page that there is some kind of a API or a way to hook into things. So are there tools the same way that there are tools for Twitter, but for Instagram to schedule posts and follow people? Is there stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's a tool that I use called Later. Um, it's an app, and also it's a helpful website as well. I got some helpful information. So it's just later.com, and that is an Instagram scheduling tool. So the thing with Instagram is actually there's no third-party resource that can automatically post to Instagram, so you have to manually post on your phone. So you can schedule all your posts out with the pictures and the captions, and then it will send you a notification when it's time to post, and you just slide that open, and it will put it into your Instagram, and then you just click post. So yeah, you can organize things that way. So at the beginning of the week, sometimes I'll schedule out posts for certain times when your following is active. So that's one. You got the scheduling, and then there's a couple other analytics tools. One called Iconosquare, which gives you all your Instagram analytics. And then also something interesting is Instagram just came out with business profiles. So you can link your Instagram to your Facebook business page, and that is super easy to do. You just go into the settings and you go down to link to business page, and then you get actually analytics about your followers, what time they're most active, and what day they're most active in countries where they're from and cities where they're from. So that's a really helpful resource if you haven't already switched your Instagram to a business profile.
And that sounds awesome because I guess because you could just start off, and as you're picking up speed, you could kind of post things any time of day and try things out. But then once you have your analytics, you can say, okay, now that I have some content, now that I have my followers, here's what they like the most, and then you can just optimize for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so looking around this, so is this next thing correct that uh, there's no way to is there a way to post via the browser, or do you have to use the app for this?
Yeah, you have to use the app. So yeah, you can't post from a computer.
Interesting.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is interesting.
One of those little quirks, I guess, that they probably did on purpose for some reason.
Yeah, so then you do have to it is a good thing to note that most of the engagement on Instagram is going to be done through mobile. So if you are linking to your website or, a lead magnet, I mean, it's been talked about a lot that mobile is huge. So just make sure everything is mobile optimized.
Okay, I mean, yeah, fair enough. If they click that one link that you're allowed off of Instagram onto your web page, I mean, it wouldn't make sense if they're clicking using the app onto your web page. It wouldn't make sense if the page wasn't optimized for mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you doing anything with outside traffic, or is this 100%? Or like to build up your Instagram, like your following and your traffic and your likes and stuff. Is there anything outside of Instagram coming in, or is it all just marketing within Instagram?
I just build up my Instagram following using Instagram. Now, it depends if you have other social media platforms that have a big following. Like I know a lot of YouTubers build up their Instagram from their YouTube, or if you have a big email list and you want to work on your Instagram, you can always, kind of promote it to your email list and make sure people are following you on Instagram. Um, so yeah, it just depends. If you have reach elsewhere, you can utilize those, but I didn't have any reach elsewhere, so I just built it all from Instagram.
Fair enough. And then, so I'm looking at like your profile and some of the other ones. Like, what's a decent following? Like, what should if someone's new to Instagram, and maybe what should they shoot for in the first couple of months? Like, is 1,000 followers good? Is 10,000 good? Is 100,000 good? Like, what's a good number to shoot for?
Yeah, so if you're starting from zero, I would say just focus on getting your first 1,000. Don't worry about too much after that, but I mean, 10,000 is the first, like big goal after that, and then from there, it's sky's the limit. But yeah, just focus. If you're starting from zero, get to 1,000. Figure out where your audience is and your content strategy and your branding, and then just take it from there from 1,000 to 10,000.
I mean, that makes sense. And
I
then
would say shoot for 10,000 within, yeah.
okay. And then I'm looking at your page. So you have what, about 11,000 followers, and the photos get about 1,000 likes or so on average. So is that something that you've seen that's pretty consistent? Like if you have X number of followers, can people count on about like 10% or so of their entire following liking something, or is this just are the numbers I'm seeing, is this high or low? I guess so. 11,000 followers, about 1,000 likes per photo. Is that normal?
It depends. My engagement's pretty high compared to most other accounts that I see, and that's just because of the way that I build the account, is because I only engage and get people to follow me that are also engaged on the app. So I would say it's a little higher than normal. You should shoot for about 10% engagement. Um, but I would say, yeah, that's it. My engagement's probably a little bit higher than normal. So you definitely want to make sure the engagement, you're getting likes and comments too. It's really good to get comments on your pictures, and that gives you a little bit of insight into your audience as well, and you can kind of communicate with them that way.
That's cool. You just kind of, I mean, in a lot of ways, you calibrate towards what they want from the comments and the analytics and all kinds of, and also modeling based on what you see the higher traffic people getting. So that's kind of cool. There's a lot of like there's very little guesswork involved. It sounds like, right? Like you kind of look at what's there and then add your own flavor to it.
Yeah, that's what I really like about it. You can really tell what's going on by looking at those analytics and things.
So with Instagram, what big mistake are you seeing a lot of other Instagrammers making?
Um, I see a lot of people just not building their following as quickly as they can. So I see a lot of people who post good content even. I see pages popping up with great content, and they'll be posting all the time, but they're just not growing. So I think that's the main thing to focus on, is that you're growing. And by doing the research and following people who would be interested in your stuff potentially, just over and over and over every day, and staying consistent with it, just making sure that you're getting people to follow you back, I think is the most important part. And yeah, a lot of people will just post and think that people will find them eventually somehow. But I think you got to focus on actually finding them first and growing your following.
And that makes sense. And even kind of going back to your 30 minutes a day thing, you said that you should be spending 30 minutes a day on Instagram and do the research and the liking stuff, but only post every other day. So if posting a photo takes 2 minutes, then and if that's every other day, then people should only be spending about a minute posting that content, and then the 29 minutes left over doing all the marketing stuff. So cool. So
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of interesting Instagram stuff. And so let's talk about you. I mean, what kind of websites do you have set up, and how can you help people who are looking to increase their Instagram reach?
Yeah, so right now I'm just focusing on building my Instagram, and I'm with clients, and also working on using Instagram to grow my YouTube channel. So you'll see that in the link in my bio. And yeah, I have lukebender.com is a place where I'm going to be posting helpful Instagram tips coming up here in the near future. So that should be all set up. If people want to check that out.
Cool. So there's lukebender.com, and then yeah, and I'm seeing all awesome. So that way we don't have to spell out all the links to Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter, all that stuff. So cool. So
Hmm.
lukebender.com gets everyone there. And then as far as once people get to lukebender.com, I mean, what is your coaching offer specifically?
Yeah, so I can do a couple things. I can do one-on-one coaching with people or consulting, or I'm even offering, businesses to actually do the growth and the management of the account on a monthly basis. So either one of those, and then I will be coming out with an Instagram marketing course here, hopefully within the next 6 months or so. So that's where I'm right now. I will, feel free to message me on Instagram or email me with any questions. I'm happy to help people get started. But if anyone's interested in, more in-depth coaching and really taking Instagram to the next level, I'm definitely available for that as well.
Awesome. And so I'm looking at lukebender.com, and if someone lands on this page and they want to hire you for coaching, either in the context of the a done with you, like you said, or a full on done for you, once they get to lukebender.com, is there a specific page or link here, or should they just go to the contact form?
I actually will be adding that here shortly. So if it's not there, just to contact me, or I will have it listed, like work with me or something like that.
Awesome, fair enough. So cool. So lukebender.com, and that is LUKEBENDER.com. And thanks for stopping by the show, Luke, for explaining to us this mysterious Instagram thing that I mean, it was easy to ignore up until now, but now that it has 500 million users, I mean, now it's a thing that a lot of people should be looking into to increase their traffic. So thanks for telling us what you had to say today about Instagram.
Yeah, no problem, Robert. Thanks for having me.
Hey there, it's Robert Plank. I'm so super grateful that you decided to listen to today's episode. To make sure you never miss another episode, go right now to robertplank.com/iTunes and click the subscribe button to ensure that you never ever miss a single episode of the Robert Plank Show ever again. Go right now, robertplank.com/iTunes.